Hello everyone, how are you doing? This is Daryl Guberman, CEO of Guberman PMC LLC, a quality consulting firm here in Connecticut. We assist companies in manufacturing quality, also implementation and certification in ISO standards, and all ISO standards as a matter of fact, or as we used to say in the label industry, all flavors in the label industry. So today, this video is very important. I've been getting some discussion on the two videos I put out about Benjamin Netanyahu under an interview, stating that he used the state of Israel as a laboratory for Pfizer because Pfizer, like Moderna, like Johnson & Johnson, did not test the contraindications as far as we can see. Now, somebody's probably going to post-date something back then, and they said, here's an analysis report and all the rest of this crap, to try to debunk what I'm telling you here. But as a quality professional for over 40 plus years, there's a lot of fudging documentation when it comes to the American National Standards Institute and the American National Crediting Board, which they took over full control over ANAB, the American National Crediting Board, in 2018. ANSI did. There's a lot of fudging, both in this country and in foreign countries as well. And this video today is Fact Check. Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla received COVID-19 vaccine. QA expert Daryl Guberman fact check. Pfizer appeared to cut corners with quality, and also they had contaminants that they were shooting in to people from what we've gathered. Okay, this is what we gathered. That document and all the information will be in the description down below this video. So we have a Miss Mackenzie, sad guy here. She writes, I don't know whether she's AI or not, because we tried to write her and send her those videos we did on Benjamin Netanyahu and Albert Bourla confessing that he had vaccine hesitancy. Not only did he have vaccine hesitancy, but he and the board were going to wait their turn in line. What kind of leadership is that? That man who developed and designed, his organization developed and designed the #1 COVID vaccine, should have had his arm up, sleeve up, and gone to town. But he didn't. But this, their writer said, if she's real, who knows? All I know is that it bounced back and they write this, you'll get. Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. They have a lot of pictures of her. Could be AI, who knows? But we do have a picture of Albert Bourla here, giving an injection to Albert Bourla, because the doctor here has the same hair, same functional face, same ear, and they can do anything with Photoshop. It looks like, you know, it was a setup deal. You know, and as I said many times, Albert Bourla is a certified veterinarian. And when they call people who got the injection, when they call them sheep, they're not too far from the mark. So today we're going to let Albert Bourla talk. I'm not going to converse that much because I'm going to prove to Daryl Mackenzie that he had hesitation with his product. Maybe he knew that they cut quality corners and standards, skipped quality standards. Maybe he knew there were contaminants in that certain batch that they were going to give him, so he hesitated. But he was also talking for his board that they didn't have to take the shot either. Now, what is that telling you, the person who took the shot? Who your organization and business said, if you don't take it, we're going to fire you. Rather than having the chutzpah, you know, you want to crash the whole economy. If many of you walked off your job, but you're saying, I got to pay my bill, I got to do this. You know, I guess if we said that back in the 1700s, now my family was running across Europe then, so I had no deal with this. But if the founding fathers thought the same way as you, that we have to go back and pay our taxes on our tea, we would never be America, would we? And by you doing that, you have degraded the sense of American pride. And I have to be completely honest with you, because as Confucius says, when faced with what is right, most men lack the courage to correct it. Until one man stands up and believes what is right, then suddenly everyone agrees with him. And I'm going to play this for you. This is actually Albert Bourla's confession of vaccine hesitancy. He took the vaccine, from what we gathered, several days after. And then he said in another article, after he got COVID, like for the second or third time, he said he wasn't going to go back to get a booster for 3 months because he had to get over the first COVID. What the heck kind of crap is that? Here it is.
I want to ask you also about a very important issue of vaccine hesitancy. Even folks who get most of their vaccines normally might be hesitant about these vaccines because they were developed so quickly. What do you tell those folks who might be saying, well, I'm going to wait a few months before I get this one?
I would tell them I wish that the situation was not so critical so that they can have the luxury to think about it. But the situation is as deadly as it could be right now with the amounts of deaths or new cases that we are facing. So they need to think it twice. This is a vaccine that was developed without cutting corners from a company with 171 years of credentials. This is a vaccine that was developed in the spotlight and the daylight with all the data being put in servers. This is a vaccine that has been approved in the US by two separate governmental agencies, CDC and FDA, after listening to two separate independent scientific bodies. One is the FDA and the other is the ACIP for the CDC. And this is a vaccine that is getting approved by all authorities in the world. So that should say something to them. And I repeat once more, the decision not to vaccinate will not affect only your health or your life. Unfortunately, it will affect the lives of others and likely the lives of the people you love the most, which are the people that usually you are in contact with. So I think trust science.
Well, and a question for you. I've heard you have not yet had your shot. When do you plan to get it?
The sooner I can, I will. The only sensitivity here, Meg, is that I don't want to have an example that I'm cutting the line. That I am 59 years old, in good health. I'm not working in the front line. So my type is not recommended to get vaccination now. So that's one consideration. On the other hand, our company ran a lot of polls to see what would take people to believe it. And one of the highest ranking, even higher than if Joe Biden takes it, even higher than if the other presidents take it, it is if the CEO of the company takes it. So with that in mind, I'm trying to find a way that I will get vaccinated, despite if it is not my time, just to demonstrate the confidence of the company. But we have made a decision that if we have to do that, we will not do it with our executives. So none of the executives or board members will cut the line. They will take it as their age and the occupation type is a time for them to take.
It appears that not only he had vaccine hesitancy, but he was talking for his entire board. Can't they make up their own mind? That is the question. ANSI, the American National Standards Institute, is a private, not-for-profit, non-governmental corporation, and it has both federal agencies and corporations on board. As you can see, the interlocking directorates and collusion that goes on under the board. Who else sits on ANSI's board is the FBI. When in November of 2022, you had Christopher Wray, the director of the FBI, under Senate subcommittee or congressional investigation, say, we must maintain American competency. We must, get rid of TikTok because it's a Chinese company, and China is a detriment to the entire United States function. And I will say this, between 2015 and 21, the FBI sat on the American National Standards Institute, and both the American National Standards Institute and the American National Crediting Board was sitting on the International Accreditation Forum, which is incorporated in Delaware, which was being run because it was handed over to the IAF, or the Chinese, in 2015. So the Chinese, a communist Chinaman, in 2015, took over, was handed over leadership of the IAF. And again, it is incorporated in Delaware. And this guy had been involved with our quality since 1994. So we have some real bad issues going on. The worst thing is for you, individuals who took the vaccine because you were pressured into it like it was Nazi Germany. And I could say that as a Jewish man because that's why I didn't take it. I also knew about Pfizer skipping quality processes. I also knew about Johnson & Johnson. I know about the failures in quality under the banner of ANSI ANAB. And I say this again, Joe Bathia, the CEO of ANSI, should be fired. Should be taken out on a horse and rode down Washington, Pennsylvania Avenue. Actually, more like a jackass should ride him down there. You know, they're paying a lot of money to keep him in power because he wheels and deals with the government. The government protects, you know, ANSI is like the Godfather. And they're protected with every quality failure by the FBI and DOJ, etc., that also sit on ANSI's board. Now, ANSI and ANAB are also underwriters for the International Accreditation Forum Incorporated in Delaware and also the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation in Australia. They are underwriters. I've showed it to you on many videos. That said, if there's failures, whether it's in aerospace, medical, automotive, electronics, the liability sits on ANSI because it is no longer that they certify the system. They actually certify the product by being the underwriters for those accreditation bodies that sit on the IAF, foreign and domestic. My telephone number is 203-556-1493 or Daryl, TQRS @yahoo.com, and I thank you.